There are very few things in boxing today or stories in boxing today that really capture my interest. If you tell me Spence v Crawford, yeah, whatever. If you tell me Fury versus Usyk, yeah, whatever. If you told me Mayweather's got an exhibition bout coming up, whatever. If you told me, you know, most things in boxing, I'm like, yeah, okay, looking forward to the fight. Oh, this looks good. Yeah, let's get the fight announced, whatever. Press conference, yeah, fine, great. Unification, great. Undisputed, great. But this story, AJ in Texas with my good pal, Derrick James. We're going to talk about this one right here on BWTM Sports. Don't go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. If you haven't subscribed already, please do check us out. We do these boxing videos, of course. We've been around for quite a while now. Some of your favorite fighters we've interviewed. Do check it out. We've got a big catalog of interviews. Tyson Fury, for example. But check it out. Go and check out the videos. There's quite a lot of content there, almost 10 years. No, over 10 years of content. So check it out. Now we're doing UFC and also FIFA 22. FIFA 23 will be with us by the weekend. So we'll be doing a career on FIFA 23. Please do give me your suggestions as to which team I should be with in FIFA 23. Moving on now. Anthony Joshua and the stories or the pictures of him being in Derrick James's gym in Texas. This is exciting. Why does it excite me? Well, I said, look, I'm fed up. I've had enough of Anthony Joshua because in terms of the way he's managed his career, absolute rubbish, nonsense. You know, we've bounced from Rob McCracken, who didn't have a clue about heavyweight boxing. Lennox Lewis warned him about it. So from Rob McCracken, we bounced to Angel Garcia. And Angel Fernandez. So we bounced from Angel Fernandez still in the camp with now Robert Garcia, who didn't have a clue about heavyweight boxing either. No, we're bouncing from him, leaving him now when we all warned you that Robert Garcia was a bad choice. Not because Robert Garcia is a bad trainer, because Robert Garcia had no heavyweight experience. And he's not even a heavyweight to say, you know what? This guy's got heavyweight experience at least. You know, he's boxed at heavyweight level or, you know, he's got some resume. You train one journeyman fighter as a heavyweight. That is not the resume to have to go in a unified fight, heavyweight championship of the world to regain your belts. You just don't do it. People employ the best in the business. When Evander Holyfield lost his belts to Riddick Bowe, he went back in the rematch and employed Emmanuel Stewart. The great. When Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Oliver McCall, he went to Emmanuel Stewart. He didn't go shopping around 20 different trainers. He went to the best. Who can get me them belts back? I'm hungry. I want them belts back, and I want them back now. He went to Emmanuel Stewart. One of the best in the business, tactically at least. And Emmanuel Stewart had a team of people around him, you know, that made, you know, teamwork made the dream work. And you could talk of countless stories of Emmanuel Stewart teaming up with fighters who'd lost their belts and rebuilt their careers. Dennis Andres got beaten to a pulp by Thomas Hearns, joined Emmanuel Stewart, went on to be, I think, a 2 or 3 time light heavyweight or cruiserweight champion of Dennis Andres from Hackney, London. So I know 258 management are watching this. I know Anthony Joshua watches. Anthony, I'm not in the UK. I'm here in Lagos. I've been here for the last 2 years working in Lagos. I'm not even Nigerian. Yeah, my wife is Nigerian. But at the end of the day, Anthony, I'm out here now. I've been working with young people here for 2 years. I've been Lagos head coach, coaching cricket out here now. We're doing a lot of work now, reducing crime on the streets. And where I am in Lagos, there's a high crime rate out here. So I've stuck it out. I'm still here. So that's where I am, and that's what I'm doing. But I know that your team are watching this. I know that you watch this, and you know that I said countless of times Robert Garcia weren't the guy. McCracken weren't the guy. And mentor he may have been, McCracken weren't the guy. Derrick James is the best trainer outside Uncle Bashir, is the best trainer you could work with now. Let me tell you something, right? Derrick James, I've met him in person when I met him after when Errol Spence beat Kell Brook for the title. And I built up a relationship with Derrick over the years. Many interviews with Derrick. So I know Derrick as a trainer, but I know him as a man as well. And I know this much. He was a former heavyweight fighter, boxer himself, 1. And 2, when Deontay Wilder's career he got beat, and he looked disorganized. I think after the first Luis Ortiz fight, he was saying, I said to him, Deontay's looking for a trainer. And that's before Malik Scott was announced. He said he would love the opportunity to remodel Deontay Wilder exclusive to BWTM Sports. He told us on the channel, I would love to remodel Deontay Wilder. Remodel. That's Deontay Wilder. Who, to be fair, I mean, at the time, it was reliant on that big right hand. Malik Scott has gotten him now using the jab a bit more, which is nice to see. With all due respect, I would say that as a boxer, Joshua has got more tools than Deontay Wilder. He's more fundamentally correct. Yeah, to Wilder. Wilder's more explosive. He's got the more one-punch knockout and all that stuff. But in terms of technicality, Joshua's a better boxer. So Derrick James, for the first time in Joshua's life, Derrick James would be the best trainer. Just look at the resume of Derrick James in terms of his, as a tactician, 1, and he arguably, I mean, just Spence now has got to win that WBO title, then he would have 2 undisputed champions in his camp. Got a unified champion and an undisputed champion in the same camp. So, tactically, Derrick James is spot on. As a man, he's a wise man. Yeah, a young man with an old wise head. He's not going to stand for all the Joshua Olabaloo. He's not going to stand for all the press and the media. No. When you're in that gym with him, it's going to be you and him. And he'll be a calming influence in Joshua. A calming influence, almost like a father figure in the boxing realm. A guy who understands the sport and the sweet science of the sport, and isn't a chancer, and isn't a guy just trying to make a few bob, or guy that needs to make a name for himself. It's none of those, none of the above there. This guy is legit. Better than McCracken, better than Robert Garcia, better than Angel Fernandez for whatever he's done. Another chancer. No disrespect, but you can't put Angel Fernandez in the same room as Derrick James. You can't. It's an insult. And the fact that he's a heavyweight, former heavyweight fighter, because he's a heavyweight fighter, that mean he makes you a good trainer. Well, he's a good trainer as it damn well is. And because he's a heavyweight, been a heavyweight boxer, he knows click, click, bang, which means that one mistake, he wouldn't train Joshua like a welterweight or middleweight. Train him like a heavyweight, the way heavyweights are meant to be trained. And Derrick James would do that. Derrick James would do that. The problem that Joshua is going to have is that he's not going to be numero uno in the camp. He can't be. He can't come from England to Texas and start walking around. He'll be a small man. No disrespect. He'll be a small man among giants. When you look at Charlo's resume, you look at Spence's resume, and what they've achieved in the sport, yeah, he's a former unified champion. Fine. But Joshua's in a rebuilding process. So is his ego going to be able to be third in the list? Because you've got Charlo, you've got what's his name? Spence. They've got big fights coming up. Charlo's going to have Costa Tszú's sons fighting Tim Tszú. And then you've got Spence coming up fighting Keith Thurman. So is Joshua just in the gym training, or is he using Derrick James' gym, or is he actually training with Derrick James? I don't know the insides of that. But Joshua and your team, don't go anywhere else. You dodged a bullet with Roy Jones. Love Roy Jones. Isaac Chilembe, personal friend again, has trained with Roy, knows Roy. Chris Eubank Jr. has worked with Roy, trained with Roy. Great, fine. That's not for you. What are you going to be doing? Trying to box like Roy with your hands behind the back? God forbid we see you doing that. So I think Derrick James has got a steady head, calming, assured, confident resume to back it up. Doesn't need the money. Everyone needs money, but it's not about the money for him. It's not a chances experiment. He's my first heavyweight, and he's got a resume to back that, and a former heavyweight fighter. Something that McCracken can't talk about, Fernandez can't talk about, Garcia can't talk about. The only one who could come close to talking about it is obviously Roy Jones, because he's fought in the heavyweight division and he beat John Ruiz in one fight. Sure, great. That's not it. That's why I say that Derrick James is awesome for Anthony Joshua. And that made me excited. If he can cut off all the nonsense and settle down with a guy that knows heavyweight history, that loves heavyweight boxing, but, he trains the welterweights and, the super welterweights, great, but, he'd love a heavyweight project to get his teeth into. And I can assure you that he would make the changes Anthony Joshua. It's just if Anthony can sit there, absorb it, and not be in that gym and go tailing off to another gym afterwards and tour America and really devalue one of the best and one of the greatest trainers we've got in the modern era. That'd be like going to Emmanuel Stewart's gym and working out in Emmanuel Stewart's gym and then afterwards going, all right, you know what, I'm going to move on to the next gym. You don't do that, Josh. You don't do that. And if you did that, not good. Because who are you going to go to next? I mean, it's Buddy McGirt. What's his name's got that? Dillian White's got Buddy McGirt. Howard Ashad Light's a possibility. Decent trainer. Stacey McKinley, with all that heavyweight knowledge, the heavyweight factory for sparring. Stacey McKinley, possibly. There's James Ali Bashir again, who you should have started your career with. But I get it. I understand that how it works. Audley gave us all an intro into what happens when you start your professional career and you're with promoters and promoters want you to go with certain trainers. Yeah, we know all about that. But here's a chance for you to redemption. If you really talk about redemption, if you're really serious about becoming heavyweight champion of the world again, and the one man that could do that is Derrick James. Derrick James, if you could get Derrick James in your corner, you're the man right there, can use that double jab to the chest of Tyson Fury and back him to the ropes and land that big right hand. I'm telling you, you need a tactician in your corner. And I don't know whether you are able to follow those instructions. I don't know. Right? I don't know. I really don't know. But this excited me. It's like the only thing in your career, to be fair, when I look at your whole boxing career, there are 3 moments I was really excited for your career. One, not so much the Klitschko fight, because the Klitschko fight for me, you were fighting a guy that Tyson Fury beat and had been on the couch doing jack nothing. So the Klitschko fight, no. You got off the canvas, you beat Klitschko. 3 times I was excited in your career. One was when after the Parker fight, I thought there was a possibility that you could have moved over to Al Heyman. That's when I was excited then. 2, when I saw you with James Al-Bashir, the ability to become a better fighter under an old school head. 3, Derrick James. Out of 3 of them, that's probably the most exciting one, to be fair, because Derrick's a bit different in the way he conducts himself in media. It's not a disrespect to Uncle Bashir at all, just that he does things differently, different characters. But great trainer, great trainer. Let's see what people are saying in the house here. Pete Contact, thanks again, no worries. Good evening, Ingram. Good evening to the chat. Shook says, for my limited judgment, AJ still has the best record thus far as a heavyweight and the most defenses at unified title. If he's looking to rebuild, Derrick James is the man to do it with. Apparently, AJ is moving to live in Dallas in the next 2 weeks. That would be an excellent move. If he moves to Dallas to train with Derrick James, that would be an excellent move, if it's true. I'm thinking of Derrick James' depth of experience training heavyweights. Don't worry about that, bro. Don't worry about it. He's a heavyweight himself and former boxer. Don't worry about that one. I explained that one already. Don't even worry about that one. AJ trying to box like Roy Jones under the hands behind his back could lead to being sectioned in the UK under mental health act. Don't do it, Josh. I don't think he would, but it's funny anyway. AJ, yeah, I'm from the cloth. Nicky Barnes, Frank Lucas, yeah, Derrick James. Those guys are all stitches and drug dealers. No offense, youngster. We don't want that energy here. Suit up. Oh, boy. I remember once on one of the shows we did a live show, and somebody was calling Derrick James a police officer. And Derrick said, why do you think I'm a police officer? It was so funny. It was so funny. I love Derrick. I do love Derrick. I love him. He's such a character. Great guy. Family man. A wealth of wisdom. Just a great guy. Just a great guy, Derrick James. Like, I cannot speak enough about how great a guy I think Derrick James will be for Anthony Joshua. And if you can just settle in, and just be in the gym and being around great fighters, that's got to rub off on him. So, why? Because Derrick James is disciplined. You need that in the fight world. Good trainer and good mentor. Absolutely. And he's a good friend. Great guy. And that work with Derrick James, if you can cut off all that crap that comes with Matchroom, that bullshit, cut away from that bullshit and get down to business. Do you know what I mean? All that la-di-da talk, mate. Apples and pears. Cut that shit out. Pardon my French. And just be laser focused 2023. Settle down with Derrick and learn. Don't be in a rush to, all right, mate, you got to take this fight because you get that to one side. Push that to one side. Shut up. and learn your sport, because you did not have a good tutelage from the start. McCracken wasn't there. He wasn't there. He wasn't at the races. Lennox warned you, you can't have a school teacher. You can't have a school teacher trying to be a professor. That's why I warned Joshua. I told Joshua, he needs to move from McCracken and he needs to get a real teacher. There's not a lot of teachers in boxing. So Lennox warned him. I know you don't like Lennox, but he warned him. I mean, Lennox is not my cup of tea as an individual, but as a fighter, great. You understand? As a fighter, great. And that bit of wisdom, I think Joshua must be sitting in the back of his head thinking, you know what? I got to make some changes here. I got to make some real changes. And I don't understand, for me, why the Robert Garcia thing happened. Why didn't you get Derrick James in then? Why did you decide to go shopping around to all these other trainers? It just didn't make any sense. Get Reynoso. What the hell were you doing Reynoso's gym? Doing what? Don't get it. Didn't understand it. Goes here. The best picture I could see both AJ and James leaning on the apron, talking and reviewing strategy. Then I know AJ back on it. Yep. And at least with this trainer, at least you'll be able to look at footage back one-on-one. He's going to tell you what you need to work on, areas of improvement. So you're going to have a proper world-class elite trainer in your corner. So that's going to definitely rub off on you. Derrick James is best for AJ. Lennox Lewis, I told him, I'm the pugilist specialist. So I tried to tell him. But AJ's got to find it for himself, AJ's going to find it for himself, And I tried to tell the boy, but boy, I didn't listen. I think AJ jumped with the Robert Garcia because he knows the Mexican style is coming forward, aggressive style. But that style is not AJ's, never has been. No, it hasn't. And tactically, what did AJ do? I mean, if you're going to sit down and make a decision as to why you made that decision, what made you pick Robert Garcia? And Angel Fernandez, what has he done? Who is he to make a judgment on James Ali-Bashir? Oh, he chose Robert Garcia because they got on. Is he taking punches in the ring for you? Is he taking punches in the ring? Is Robert Garcia? No. So the fact that Angel Fernandez was there making decisions as who is he to make decisions? It just tells you when you talk. I'm not disrespectful, but when you're talking about hierarchy, who is Angel Fernandez in the heavyweight division in heavyweight history? Who is he? What's he achieved for that? If it was James Ali-Bashir, if it was Stacey McKinley, if it's Harold Shadow Knight, if you talk about those guys, even Ronnie Shields, you talk about those guys, at least those guys have got heavyweight picture there. Who the hell is Angel Fernandez? Where did he come from? What's his lineage? Where did he come from? Can someone track where Angel Fernandez came from? So track where he's come from, and then who is he to make decisions on which trainer should be best for Anthony Joshua? I don't get it. He trained Robert. He trained Robert. What's he? Coley. Oh, he trained a Coley, so he must know what he's doing. Really? Robert was easy for Eddie to control because of their own connections. Yeah, that's it. This is what I'm talking about. That the matchroom bullshit. Get away from all that stuff. Eddie cannot have AJ around PBC fighters. He may jump ship one day, but that's what I thought was the best thing. I thought he was gonna jump ship if you jump ship after the Parker fight, we would have seen Deontay Wilder, AJ. We would have seen that fight. Fight would have been made, done. But he got a trilogy as well. And Robert Garcia wasn't even chief second to try to get the results. AJ picked him in the first place. Robert Garcia was literally straight from the very thing he was picked for. Yeah. And then before I understand, they had differences, AJ and Garcia. So what the hell? Man, I don't know, people. I don't know. I just hope to God. And AJ, I hope to God, you do move to Texas. Is this serious? That you buckle down, cut that shit out about free spirit and wanting to go buckle down. I hope that free spirit means I don't want no more matchroom bullshit, there's own bullshit, and all that stuff and that arrogance that comes with it. Just put that to one side. Settle down. Have good people listening in your ears. Get Derrick James in your ears. Listen. Suck up all that Derrick James has to say. Listen to some sense for a change. And take that in. Feed on it. Grow in it. Get that elite mindset. Get it into your soul. Suck it in. Really take it in. Deep, deep, deep. You know? And I would even say, come to Africa, bro. Come to Africa. Come drink some of them concoctions. Detox the system from all that bullshit. And go to Derrick James and suck it all up. You're gonna have a new career under Derrick James. A new career. Do you understand? Learn about how to throw different punches from different angles and how to get yourself out of positions when, get yourself in and out of positions. How to use the jab to get in and get out. Different ways of throwing the right hand, setting up traps. Do you understand? Putting punches together, closing range down. All those things and more. Tying up an opponent, leaning on him. All those things. Derrick's going to teach you those things and show you them things and so much goddamn more. And then be able to sit and watch Errol Spence and Charlo and be around that environment of champions. It goes, but how can Derrick James have time to train AJ with Errol and Jamil? That's the thing. I did mention that. A guy like Derrick James would be very time conscious. So he would plan. If he didn't think he could have AJ in the camp, he would say, I can't have you in the camp. Simple as. So he'll have time for him. If he didn't have time, he'll say, look, basically, I don't have time. And this is something he's always wanted to. He wanted Deontay Wilder, but he's got Anthony Joshua, or he may have Anthony Joshua. So, hey, you would make time. You would make time. And this is about money now. All the money will come. If you're good, money will come anyway. But he'll make time. He'll definitely make time. And there'll be time there. You think about it. Spence doesn't fight 3-4 times a year, does he? Charles doesn't fight 3-4 times a year, does he? So there's time to prepare these guys, Time to prepare these guys. So I think that it's going to work out well. I really do. I'm more excited about Derrick James's involvement with Anthony Joshua. I'm excited. I haven't spoken to Derrick in a while, but I'm excited just because of time and just busy doing everything here in Lagos. But man, Derrick, I just hope that you and Anthony Joshua actually have that chemistry. I mean, our minds, we can all think, yeah, this is a brilliant connection, but it's what. And Derrick I believe, will have to detox a lot of the stuff that Anthony may have learned over the years. Some of the misguided stuff he may have learned over the years. I hope Anthony's willing to learn and give some of that up. I hope so. I really do. Does James have any experience heavyweights? former heavyweight fighter himself, as I mentioned at the top of the show. But yeah, the guy will be very, very, very good, I believe, for him. So very sure, very sure. So I have more confidence in him, in Derrick James, than in Rob McCracken, Angel Fernandez. Okay, how much experience has Angel Fernandez got training heavyweights? How much experience did Robert Garcia have training heavyweights? How much experience did Rob McCracken have training? And put those three guys together, and how many unified champions have they got between them in the same gym? Let's talk about it. How many of them were heavyweight fighters? Let's talk about it. So I don't want to hear that. Not when you've got that sort of resume and the way you train your fighters. It's tactical. It's boxing science. That's why Spence and Charlo are the way that they are. Look, when Charlo got beat by Tony Thompson, and they went, Derrick James, blah, 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 blah. Came back, made adjustments, and came back. And look what Charlo did to Thompson in the rematch. So I think, to me, it's a great move. It's great news. Hope he leaves Eddie, but but how does he get out of a lifetime deal? I don't know, mate. I don't know. But Eddie is not good for Josh. No way. Yeah, he might have made him a lot of money. That's his job as a promoter. But all that energy, all that crap, it's no good. No good at all. No good. No good. And it's all about Eddie. It's not about the fighter. It's never been about the fighter. It's about Eddie. It's about Eddie. You know, because you think he could have had a quality trainer. Quality trainer. McCracken, I think there's a family connection there between Eddie and McCracken. I think brother or something there in the family, godfather or something like that, to one of his children or something like that. It's something. There's a connection between Eddie and McCracken. Put that to one side. Now the Robert Garcia story with his own connection there. So Derrick James is PBC, isn't he? So we'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. You know, but I think AJ, let's hope, let's pray that the damage that has been inflicted through AJ's career up to this point is reversible. Because if it's irreversible, and I think AJ's biggest problem for me isn't physical. I believe it's mental. I've always said it. So if Derrick James can get inside the head of AJ, that's where we'll see the best of him, I believe. But they have to gel. There has to be an agreement with AJ mentally to accept what James is teaching him, even if it hurts, even if it causes him to have to drop ego and drop certain things he real knew before, you know, to gain that experience that he needs. And then the comeback fight needs to be he needs comeback fights, not against killers. He needs comeback fights against guys that he can work stuff on, 2 or 3 fights where he can work and stuff and build himself towards, you know, the heavyweight championship of the world. So when he gets there again, he will be successful. Otherwise, there needs to be, like, I would say 2023. Take 3 fights in 2023. 3 fights where you can be learning. Because you need to learn. Not what you've learned to be an elite fighter. And when I mean by an elite fighter, that means that when you meet elite fighters, you perform at elite level. Not when you meet elite fighters, your performance dips. Or you concede, or you start doing silly things like giving your belt up, or taking silly photographs with fighters when you should be more standoffish, or welcoming fighters. You know, that dog that you haven't shown, that dog that Jamal Charlo's got, or that dog that Spencer's got, you can pick that up as well, because there's been too much of this accommodating behavior. With Usyk and the belts. When he was in the UK, I said to everybody, you're too accommodating. When you're Andy Ruiz and you let Ruiz hold the belts, too accommodating. So all this stuff I said, and then in the rematch of Usyk, still accommodated. No, absolutely not. Otto Wallin, absolutely. So you want to put him in with a southpaw, a hungry southpaw? Hell no. Dillian White, no. Wilder, no. 3 fights. So Chris Arreola, Chris Arreola would be a good fight. I want guys that will put resistance up, but not be too dangerous. Fights where you can start to learn and do different things. Maybe Adam Kalinowski. That's another fight we'll take for Joshua. They even look devastating. Get used to knocking people out again. And Luis Ortiz. Adam Kalinowski. And Chris Arreola. Those three guys I will take. You can't guarantee AJ is going to join James, but I bet he's going to go back to Angel again. Watch. Don't say that. Please. No. Sanchez. Oh, God, Sanchez. No. Please. No. Then you hear 2 weeks later, AJ's left. Derrick James now be found in the gym on Flessy. If he wasn't going, what gym could he go to next in America? Let me think. Gym. Floyd Mayweather's gym. We've done that. Let me think. Guess. Boxing gym you could go to. We could play a game of Where's AJ? Let's hope we don't have to play the game of Where's AJ. AJ, please, no, stay where you are. Please, stay at Derrick James, please. Next thing you might find AJ down in Florida. And Bermain Severn, remember he warned AJ, you don't want to be in Miami. Miami is a place you don't want to be. Not for you. And he was warning and saying, you don't want to be in Miami. Because he knew. He said, I can do it. You can't. Obviously, Haitian and living in America, a bit different, so he understands it. But, yeah. I would like to see AJ have... I would like to see AJ have a what's the word? Not a minder, but what Don King had in the 80s was he had a guy that followed his fighter everywhere to make sure that fighter wasn't getting himself caught up in nonsense. So I think AJ is going to need that. Goes, if AJ joins James, I will send you £20. I'm not confident he won't. Well, mate, hold that thought and keep it in the careful. I might give Derrick a call to find out where it's at. And then you can add an extra 0 on that and you can send it to my PayPal for Christmas, mate. AJ should fight these 3 in 2013. Ascending order, the skill building. Arreola, yes. Kalinowski, yes. Helenius, yes. Who beat Kalinowski? Wilder beat him. It's a good story. Yeah. So Helenius, yeah. Helenius, Kalinowski, and Arreola. I'd take those 3. Perfect. But I would consider the Luis Ortiz one. Southpaw. People said that AJ was ducking him. He looks like he's creaking now. So, yeah. Do you think it's way too late for AJ to master the basics? No. Master the basics? He has the basics. He knows how to throw the jab. He knows how to throw the right hand. He knows how to throw the left hook. It's not about that. It's about knowing when to throw it and when not to throw it. It's about when to get in the kitchen and when to get out the kitchen. When to stay in the kitchen. When to get out of the kitchen. And even when you're in the kitchen, how to defend when you're in the kitchen when it's getting hot, how to counter when you're in the kitchen, how to turn defense into attack, or attack into defense in the kitchen, up close, how to nullify a fighter's best attributes. You're talking about a shadow, Ingram, someone to mind him. Yes, the hyena is on the loose is the code for when AJ's out and about. Yeah, that's it. That's what they're going to have to watch out for. Because whereas AJ may go to the US, because AJ's in the US, you might let me take the AJ out of AJ. So he may have tendencies as he may have had when he was in Miami, which Bermain Severn kind of highlighted, that could happen when he's in Texas. So there's a lifestyle in Texas, and I've been out to Texas. And I was actually meant to go to the gym to meet Errol Spence, but the week that I was in Texas, where it's horrendous weather, it rained and it was flooding and couldn't get to the gym. The flood was horrendous, and it was like I was about half an hour from the gym in Texas. Yeah. So I think that's it for me. I don't think there's anything else I can add. Congratulations to Terence Crawford, wiping out Mr. Avanasian. Shows you levels, doesn't it? Josh Kelly got chinned by Avanasian. Avanasian got chinned by Crawford. Levels. But I still don't like the way Crawford's getting hit more often. He's getting hit with a right hand way too often now. I don't think he beat Spence, but that's another story for another day. Let's just say the ladies are ugly out in Texas. Ingram Jones hit a warning about Texas to AJ. Yep, be careful. But look, there is one thing we do have to bear in mind. All this praise for Derrick James. Derrick James is this and Derrick James is that. Derrick James, is not a magician, and Derrick James will allow you to have free will. Look at Errol Spence. Derrick James was his trainer, but Errol Spence got himself in a car crash and was drinking. Now, that's why Spence needed a mind around him. So let's not deceive ourselves into the dangers of Derrick James will be his trainer and his mentor. He's not his dad. So it's going to need some self-discipline from AJ. I knew Avanasian would put up some scuffle, but Crawford swarmed him. Does Eubank beat Liam? Interested in your thoughts? I think it's a great fight. We'll talk about it on another show. Thank you so much for this live and live long the Ying. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait. I'm excited this week. Fingers crossed we're going to have a new intro and kind of freshen this up for 2023. Good point about Errol Spence Jr. and Derrick James trainer mentor relationship. So, yeah, that is something we still need to keep in the back of our minds. We saw what happened with Errol Spence there. Yeah, so, yeah, he's a trainer. He's not his dad. So, what you may be leaving England to go and do in America may follow you to America in the way you set up. It would seem from the way AJ set himself up at the amateur gym, which I call it, in Sheffield, which is what it is, that AJ was sort of isolated, even when he was Robert Garcia and Angel Fernandez, he was sort of isolated. But in America, AJ wants to be about that American life. We all know that. You all know AJ wants to be about that life. So it's just, America's good for some people, but it's not good for everybody. That's another thing. America's good for some people. It's not good for everybody. Errol Spence is one of those quiet guys. It's those guys that get into things as kids and adults. Hopefully he gets into things to get things together. Let's hope so. AJ, for me, if it were me, AJ have a bloody minder on him. He'd have a minder. Trust me, he would have a mind. He'd have two minders in him. One on the front door, one on the back door. One on the front door, one on the back door, and all windows would be locked up. Trust, and there'd be steel over it. Trust me. One on the front door, one on the back door. AJ wants to be that guy in Times Square in front of the neon. Dude, AJ, chill. Well, that's going to happen. That'll happen. That will happen. That's what he wants. Imagine AJ, him on big neon lights in Texas. AJ boxing in Texas. But the thing is, if he's in Texas, and he's training with a PBC trainer, could a PBC move happen? Is it possible he could get a PBC move? Again, it was all speculation. AJ might just be in the gym training, and he might just be in the gym training, and Derrick James could be, just out and about, going for a jog and having a vegan meal, and, who knows? If it was May, AJ's Apple Watch would be bugged and he'd have a tracker in his shoes. Yeah. What I would do as well. This has been a bit funny. I would have a tracker on AJ's what he's watching on YouTube. I have to ban him on YouTube watching certain things. I don't know, but I just think that he needs to cut away a lot of the rubbish and just jokes aside and be zero focused. And 1-2-3 management, 258, I call them 1-2-3 management. They've done a horrendous job. Yeah, they've brought him a lot of money, but I would have made AJ a lot of money because just the product that he was. And I don't think I would have got him beat up the way he's been beaten up personally if I were managing him. But anyone can talk a good talk. Computer nanny functions on search history online. Yeah, I'm serious. And he'd be banned from watching anything on YouTube. Like he couldn't watch. He'd be banned from watching Netflix. Banned from watching any rap videos, any rap documentaries, any hip hop documentaries. Banned completely. Like no, AJ, no. You only watch boxing, right? You have to watch your own fights. You have to watch the history of heavyweight boxing. And then Derrick James, training guys, he just got banned from a lot of stuff I'd ban him from. And it's like, it have to be done. AJ would be watching these night documentaries on. No. Banned. Yes, AJ's got money, but he also wants and needs legacy. Ban all that stuff. Banned. Ban words from AJ's vocabulary. Death Row, Shook Knight, Biggie, Tupac, East Coast, West Coast, etc. Banned. Hip hop, banned. All of it completely banned. Boxing. Evander Holyfield. Not even Mike Tyson. You can't watch Mike Tyson either. No Mike Tyson. Muhammad Ali? No, Muhammad Ali. No Muhammad Ali. Okay? No Muhammad Ali. No Mike Tyson. Sonny Liston. Yeah, you can watch Sonny Liston. Big George Foreman. Lennox Lewis videos. Yeah, lots of Lennox Lewis videos. Yeah. Lennox Lewis. Undisputed heavyweight world champion. Emmanuel Stewart. Yeah. That relationship. Watch that. You can watch that. Heavyweight greats. You can watch them. That'd be good. Because I would have AJ working out and listen to classical music on the side. No hip hop, drum and bass, chill. Nothing like that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Maybe also a hypnotic channel where I will follow what Derrick James says. Yeah. I will follow what Derrick James says. Yeah. I will follow what Derrick. Yeah. I will beat Tyson Fury. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm from the ends. No, Derrick, no, you're not from the ends. No, stop. I will follow Derrick James. Yeah. So he can do, oh, jokes aside. Seriously. See, I'm joking, but there's a more sinister side to all this, because we know the stuff has come out of AJ's own mouth. And I don't want to hear no more stuff like, from the business end of things, and, is this a CEO and, I don't want to hear any of that, option one, I don't want to hear that. I just want to hear, I'm looking to get in there and cause some serious damage. I want my belts back. That's it. I want my belts back. I don't want to hear about the structure, the interior design. I don't want to hear about upside down, right side up. I don't want to hear about that. I don't give a damn about Matchroom and DAZN and your contract, your deal. I don't care about 258 management or 123 management. I don't care. I'm not interested in, sponsorship deals. Don't care. Not interested in hearing about the Usyk deal. Not interested to hear about that, or your breakup with your trainers, or Rob McCracken. Not interested. All I want to hear is that I'm focused. I'm living with a trainer. I'm sticking with this trainer. I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm going to put them right. And I want to hear, I've made some mistakes in the past. I'm going to put them right. And Derrick James is the trainer for me. That is it. Don't want to hear anything else about, we had talks with Roy Jones and we're still having ongoing talks with other trainers. I don't want to hear that shit. So, yeah, I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear it. Not interested. Don't care. And I don't even want to hear about a Tyson Fury fight. Don't want to hear you. You're not interested. Just getting back in the ring, sharpen up your tools, sharpen it up. And I want to hear you take responsibility for the poor decisions you made in your career. I want to hear that. Because once I start hearing that stuff, I can't say, you know what? Wait, AJ, this is a real different AJ. Because he's admitting he's made mistakes. And he's not saying, I'm a I'm a calculated guy, cool, calm, and calculated guy. I'm the one who makes the decisions. And then the decisions you make are just messed up decisions. So I want to hear things that make sense, like logical sense for once. Like, you've picked your trainer, why you've picked your trainer, and there's some sense behind it. Because, for the last God knows how many years, the things you've said don't make sense. They don't make sense to the boxing public. They don't make sense to boxing trainers. They don't make sense to anybody bar you and your little group of people around you that themselves don't know anything about boxing. Clearly. Sad to say, but I don't see no way AJ gets another heavyweight title. Disagree with you there, mate. Disagree with you there. He's got the attributes to become a heavyweight champion again. It's by bad management on poor trainers. So I disagree with that. Strongly disagree. And if you know your history in heavyweight boxing, guys are boxing at heavyweight at 38, 39, 40. Heavyweights get better generally as they get older. Look at Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis was a better boxer in his late 30s than he was in his 20s and his early 20s. Come on. AJ does not want to look back at his career and regret the missed chances and how mismanaged he was, like Tyson and others, also mismanaged. It is better for AJ to fight Fury and Wilder, most probably lose, and not fight them at all. Bro, that's nonsense talk. AJ stuck between a rock and a hard place. No, not really. I don't think so. This is where, if you look at the comment section, if you listen to some of the comments in the comment section, right, carefully, these same comments are the reason why AJ's in the shit he's in today. Because these are the same people can't make these sort of comments that they don't make any sense. Why would you target Fury and Wilder now at the place you're in? Oh, you'll lose to loot. You better lose to them. No, that's a loser mentality. That's not elite. That's not elite mentality. Elite mentality is, I'm going to get the belts back. I'm going to set up a professional elite training camp. Can any of you, those guys who make those comments, tell me what he was training in a flipping amateur gym? He trained in a professional elite environment with Vladimir Klitschko. When Vladimir Klitschko was world heavyweight champion, why the hell would you be training with amateurs in an amateur gym? Based for amateurs. Make no sense. So your comments don't make sense. And it shows me that your history of heavyweight boxing is like void, because there are so many heavyweights that have lost, come back, and become world heavyweight champions. Look at Hasim Rahman. Got knocked through the ropes twice by Oleg Maskev. Knocked him out twice. Hasim Rahman. I think he got flattened by... didn't he get flattened by Corey Sanders as well? Still went on to beat the undisputed or the unified... Was he undisputed or unified heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis? So what are we talking about here? Michael Moorer won the titles, got beat by Evander Holyfield, and then came back and won the title again. So the heavyweight division has a history of guys getting knocked out. And AJ hasn't been brutally knocked out and laid out flat on the canvas, not like Lennox Lewis. And he's done something Lennox Lewis has never done, which is got off the canvas to win a fight. Vladimir Klitschko never did it. Lennox Lewis never got off the canvas to win a fight. So I don't understand. Don't get it. AJ is coming for what is his. One big problem are the people that are constantly around him. Yep, I've got to agree with you there, Taylor. I've got to agree with you. Got to agree with you there. But this is where we know if AJ actually changes. This is why I said to you, we want to hear those things. It's not about AJ just being in camp and training with James. He's got to sound. He's got to say certain things. AJ showed a mental issue, but publicly too hard on him. When Fury went through it and advertised it, public gave him sympathy. SMS typical. Yep. I agree with you. When AJ had that breakdown, they were all over him. When Fury does it, oh, poor Fury, mental health, yeah. But AJ's got mental health. Oh, no, AJ. Oh, it was a disgrace. We know what that is. You know that the British press are general racists. We know that. We know your press are racist. You know, there's so many different situations where the British press have exposed to being racist as it is. So it is what it is. We know what we're dealing with. So it is what it is. British press are racist. They always have been and always will be. So we'll leave that right there. You know. But anyway, that's it there. Anthony, AJ, Joshua, I think it's a great opportunity to rebrand yourself. The second coming, the renew, the rebirth, it's an opportunity here, bro, to repackage, redesign, and go again. You want to talk about business models? Well, this business model has failed twice. No, it's failed against small men. Andy Ruiz, Alexander Usyk. It needs to be remodeled. And you need to sit down and watch their heavyweight greats. And I always said to you, if you don't know your history, you don't know your journey going forward. AJ, you need to sit down, watch heavyweight history, and then ask yourself the question, like I've said this many years ago, where do I fit in their heavyweight landscape across the last 20, 30 years? Where do I fit? And how do I book my place for legacy. It's about legacy. And I don't want to hear crap about you don't want the belts. You want the belts. And by you talking that crap, affirming that crap, and speaking that stuff out into the universe, no, it's not about the belts. It is about the belts. It is about the belts, and you need those belts. So I don't want to hear that crap either. Is it a permanent move? We are praying to God that it's a permanent move for AJ. We are praying it's a permanent move. We are praying to God it's a permanent move because he needs that. If he leaves that gym for any more rubbish, I'd honestly just close the book and just say that if he leaves Derrick James and he goes to anybody else that's not in the echelons of heavyweight training, the trainers, then I'm sorry. I wish AJ Lennox had a good relationship. I don't think this stuff about Lennox Lewis being a great trainer, I think it's very overrated. You had Manuel Shah, trained Manuel Shah. Manuel Shah got smashed to bits by Breedis, right? Maris Breedis. He had David Price. Price ignored him. He got smashed, and Price got smashed to bits by Tony Thompson. Lennox Lewis might be a great heavyweight fighter. I'm not convinced he's a great heavyweight trainer. Everyone jumps up. His man, dog, cat, mouse, monkey jumps up about Lennox Lewis in the car, the parking lot of Deontay Wilder and Lennox Lewis, and throwing the jab. Anybody who's a decent trainer could have shown Deontay Wilder how to throw a decent jab. Lennox Lewis did it because he was undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But that doesn't, because he did that, doesn't mean make him a good trainer. Doesn't make him a good trainer. Then there are a lot of things that you need to do to be a good trainer. You know, and ego's not one of them. You need to be able to relate what you have and pass it down. And that's not for everybody. And not everybody makes a good trainer. And not everyone's got patience. Do you understand? So I'm not in this whole, well, Lennox. No. I think Vladimir Klitschko would be a better influence on AJ than Lennox Lewis. Because Vladimir Klitschko is more of AJ's time. Vladimir Klitschko was sparring with AJ. Vladimir Klitschko has a better relationship with AJ. Vladimir Klitschko and AJ have shared a ring as teacher and pupil, and then going on and becoming, a graduate and beating the master. So yeah, in that sense, in the ring. But Vladimir can teach him about professionalism. But you just wonder why he didn't take up that information from Vladimir. If he doesn't train with Derrick James now, in the words of AFTV, it's time to go. Lennox has good mental influence, not trainer. No, I don't know. I don't know about Lennox Lewis, the trainer. The verdict is out on Lennox Lewis, the trainer, in my opinion. No. Lennox Lewis, the fighter, yes. Lennox Lewis, the advisor or the consultant, maybe. But Lennox Lewis, the trainer, hell no. George Foreman, the consultant, yeah. George Foreman, the advisor, yeah. George Foreman, the trainer, hell no. Larry Holmes, the trainer. Holmes was in camp with Stacey McKinley, and they were working on the jab. So I think Holmes is a guy that has got a lot of knowledge there, and the Eastern Assassin had one of the greatest jabs in heavyweight, if not the greatest jab in heavyweight history. I think Holmes would be interesting to use. Riddick, Big Daddy Bo, that guy right there, if I can employ anyone to be a trainer, I would get Bo as a trainer much faster than Lennox Lewis, because Bo can fight on the outside and he can fight on the inside. Great big man, great jab, good upper body movement, a big man, through good combinations, good fast hands. Riddick Bowe, make a good trainer. Is there any chance that Anka Bashir could still take the reins? Yeah, it's a possibility. Never say never. If he left James and went to Bashir, Now, I don't know. Now, I don't know. Get the in there as advice to AJ consultant lease, mate, bro. I'm going to get my time for sure. I'm going to get my time. Larry Holmes would give AJ such a devastating jab, the world would be in shock. That's what I said. If I'd bring Larry Holmes and said, you know what? All I want you to do, Larry, work on AJ's jab, distance and timing. Get that for me. Get that jab for me, Larry. Get that jab for me. Oh, man. Dream team. Flipping dream team. Ah. Anyway, let me get out of here. Ingram, I hope you've seen the Cody interview with Boxing Media King. Very interesting. I haven't, but I'm going to watch it now. I wasn't surprised if Cody wants to get out of his contract and he's calling Eddie a slave driver for it. But I'm on it. I'm going to go watch it now. AJ need that Larry Holmes jab for real. See what I mean? You see what I mean? Trevor Bright had Holmes in camp. Didn't see much in the Dubois fight. Well, no, because let me hold you right there. Did you see the interview? Stacey McKinley stopped Holmes training Dubois, and all he wanted Trevor Bryant. He stopped Trevor Bryant using the jab. And all Trevor Bryant did was listen to Larry Holmes. That's all, he listened to him. But McKinley stopped him on the pads. So that was, I don't know what the point of that was, but McKinley had his ideas. I personally would have done that, but McKinley knows a hell of a lot more about boxing than me, but I wouldn't have done it. But it didn't make it matter in the end, because obviously Trevor Bryant got tucked in. So anyway, I will say one thing about that jab. Go back and watch, and I did say this to boxing fans, go back and watch the fight again with Trevor Bryant and Daniel Dubois. And Trevor Bryant hits Daniel Dubois with a left jab, and Dubois backs up, and he was very uncomfortable with it. And I mentioned this, and people went kind of overlooked it. And I said, I'm not comfortable with Daniel Dubois. He goes and fights this cruiserweight guy who hits him with a straight left, and look what happens. Yes, champ. Ingram, you're going to say, before I go, what are you going to say, buddy? Before I disappear, you said my name. Before you go, why do you think it's that few fighters are going with old school trainers like Bashir, etc., etc.? Because they think new school. A lot of these fighters are being forced to go with certain trainers because of the promoters. 1. 2, a lack of depth of the people around them. They don't know boxing. They don't know history of boxing. So these guys come in and they're looking for the latest fashion. But I guarantee you these guys will go to the best doctors. They get the best cars. They get the best women. But they'll get a second-rate trainer. That's boxers for you. But most boxers don't invest in themselves. They don't invest in what they do. They invest in what they get. Who wins, Dubois or Gerald Anderson? Well, I'm not a big fan of Gerald Anderson. I've said it already. If you punch with Gerald Anderson, we saw the first round of Gerald Anderson. Gerald Anderson reminds me of what's this boy's name? The undisputed champion at the moment, Devin Haney. They have the similar sort of style. You've got to punch with them. I think, as you say, it's unfashionable to go with Bashir. It's more popular to go with McGuigan's, Booth, etc. Yeah, it is. And they get fashionably knocked out afterwards. Not saying they're bad trainers, but when you hear what White said about McGirt, he said he's a proper teacher. Yeah, I could have told Dillian White that. But he had Harold the Shadow Knight, and he flipping reduced Harold the Shadow Knight to be a second to Xavier Miller. So I don't want to hear that from Dillian White. Because it is what it is. You know? It is what it is. Of course, Buddy McGurt's a top trainer. He was a top fighter as well. Top fighter. Top trainer. Must get Buddy McGirt on, actually, because he's Buddy McGirt's one of my good friends on LinkedIn, so I need to go and connect with him. Some of you trainers I've got to connect with. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Please do subscribe. Consider becoming a member. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please share the video. Smash the like button. All of you in the room, please do smash the like button so YouTube know to watch the video and share it as well. And Anthony Joshua, AJ, please. And 1, 2, 3 management, for once, do the right thing. For AJ, for AJ's, for heavyweight legacy, for heavyweight history, for your own history, bro, to stand among the greats, please get yourself a proper trainer, an elite trainer, and enjoy the benefits of being around elite. You can't be elite around average. I'm sorry. You cannot be elite around average. You need to be around elite to stretch you, and you haven't been stretched, my friend. You haven't been stretched. You need to be stretched. An elite trainer will stretch you beyond your own limits, and you need to be stretched because you've got limitation here. You need to be stretched. All right, I'm out here. This is BWTM Sports. I'm out. I'll see you soon. I hope you've enjoyed the show.